Okay, so I'm back. I just wanted to add to what I said previously. One of the comments was that you're crazy, and I don't let that get to me. But it really made me start to think about how I approached that last video, and the tone of it was definitely, I took it up a notch. And the reason why, I'd like to talk about this. I'd love to talk about the situation in a really calm way, and not, you know, not be hysterical. I really love to just talk about it in a very calm demeanor. Just have some vodka. I'd love to talk about it in just a really, concise, very calm, measured manner, and to be tactful. But this isn't the flu. If it was just a simple case of the flu, yeah, I'd say, everybody just remember to wash your hands. And what else would I say in regards to the flu? Drink lots of water, and you'll be fine. Just get enough sleep and exercise, eat healthy, plant-based diet. That's what I'd say. But this isn't the flu. It's a organism, a virus that had leaked from a BSL-4 facility. So therefore, sometimes to get people's attention, you have to react that way, or to explain it that way in such a manner that may be concerning to regular folk who are of a calm demeanor, and they just don't see any cause for concern. And that is fine if somebody doesn't mind getting killed. But I just was watching a trailer for a video game called a Plague Tale: Innocence, and it's about the Black Plague. So I think I'm going to play that game sometime, just because it's very apropos. But what really struck me was that in that game, or at least in that time, you could see the source of the plague, or the suspected source of the plague, which was the rats. So if there's a swarm of rats running around the place, like, so let's just say, for example, that this virus was spread through rats, right? It's something you can see, something you can measure. Everyone would be running if they saw that giant swarm of rats. Or the locust plague that's happening all over Africa and parts of the Middle East. People would be running for their lives if they saw a swarm of rats that were infected with this virus, because they can see it. They're not going crazy. They can take pictures, send video, and say, there are rats and they're infected and they're spreading a disease. We can say that, and it's evidence-based, and people won't think you're crazy. But that's the thing, when it comes to viruses and infections, you can't see it. They're in the air. It's invisible. It's not within our capabilities, the way our eye is designed, that we can see those microscopic microorganisms. We can't see them with the naked eye. We need a microscope, electron microscope. We need the help of a visual aid, a visual equipment, diagnostic equipment, in order to visualize those. So, what if it was not invisible and we could see a swarm of whatever it is, a physical manifestation of it? It's the only manifestation you would see is once a person who was asymptomatic becomes symptomatic, which can take 14 to maybe 30 days or more, who knows. They will present with the symptoms, but those symptoms are not alarming because they are similar to what someone would show or would display if they had the flu. That's why it's so dastardly. It's so it's such a, someone called it a ninja virus, a stealth virus, where it sneaks up on you and kills you, because it can also travel through the air vents which I said in many videos already, that those living in apartment complexes are in a world of trouble, because my understanding is that all the ventilation systems are interconnected. There's not one, air conditioner or heater for one uh, unit, and they're all attached to different. No, I think they have a centralized system, so that that air is distributed throughout the building, from the first floor to the penthouse, wherever building it is. So they're very much at risk, and that is proven because those who are in the cruise ships, they remained in isolation and quarantine, and yet the virus spread. It spread even though they were in quarantine. And how did that happen? Because of the ability of the virus to spread in the air through the ventilation ducts. So that's all I have to say. I'm going to keep this brief, not like the other one. So thanks again. That's just my addendum. I wanted to just apologize for the tone of the last video. I think it was a little kind of, what's the word, sensational. It was a very sensational kind of video, and that wasn't my intention. I didn't want to cause anyone to really panic and for people to think I was crazy, because that's not the point. It's to inform people. But unfortunately, if you aren't talking like a madman, and it's not that I was trying to be like a madman, but I mean, if you don't talk about something and present it in a way that expresses the sense of urgency and the reality of the situation, people just won't get through. The message will not come across. Like, for example, if I wear that mask that I was wearing in the last video, just gets more viewers. People like theatrical things. They like dramatizations. But because I look like this, no one will want to watch, because, like, who wants to see a guy eat Pringles? Like, who who really wants to see that? When you look at the thumbnail, who wants to see a guy who just looks like normal Joe? Everyday Joe Schmo, or however they say it. I don't know how to do the duck thing. I need to do that duck thing again. So like that. Anyway, yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm gonna end the stream before it gets ridiculous. So too late.